Welcome back, welcome back. What about if I tell you that during these days that I've been talking about the personality traits, I have found out that some people like to work in the midnight panic. What is a midnight panic? Why we need to use extra energy and this kind of, oh my God, can I pay the bills? Do I have enough money for my responsibilities? What about if I tell you that your personality trait will tell you exactly what you need to do to make that better in your life? Welcome back. My name is Rosalina Esquilin. I'm the real estate express. And this kind of stuff has been very funny for me because we can talk about many stuff about sales, how to make $1 million, how to build this empire, that you can have everything in order, not just your business, your family, your marriage, your relationship with others. You need to know who you are. And we love to make the decision to be an entrepreneur. Also, we would like to work in sales. But this is the things that when we're making a decision, we never think that how my habit, my attitude, and my personality trait will affect that. How can I use that information and I can make a plan or I can make this new me? Because we all need to be aware that we're working with somebody else. If we are an entrepreneur, it's pretty much 100% that we need to be ready and able to run for any crisis or any situation that anybody can fit. You are the CEO. You need to run. You need to be there. You need to be ready. You need to be aware of everything and has to be very energetic balance for you to solve the situations. They're going to happen. Is that they're not going to happen. If you are your own business owner, you will have that. But what about when you work in sales? When you work in sales, now you have your pressure plus somebody else's pressure. So that combination could be a killing for you if you don't know how to deal with that. If your personality traits doesn't like the pressure, doesn't like to be somebody calling you, asking you for stuff. For example, I have one opportunity once to grow a title company here in Orlando. And one of the things was that they were, when they offered me the opportunity, I just thought that it would be a good idea. Not my forte. I'm working in real estate. I'm not working in build any title company. Also, I really, really like the idea of just learning about what they know, right? How to close the deal. What is the backstage information that I can get to continue having the knowledge that I need to know to run my office? The thing is that one of the things that they told me was you need to call every Monday for an update, and then you have to call on Wednesdays and Fridays, and you need to talk with this person, and you have a phone number from us, and you need to. And I says, oh no, I'm my own business owner. I don't need to call anyone. And that thing, when I say no, is not no for the opportunity to get another extra income. But my personality trait doesn't like to be called. I cannot have a schedule that I had to call someone to report because I work independently. I already have my own schedule. I have been doing sales since ever. So I know that the 30 days of the month are the 30 days for me to be working. I need to be doing something for my business in my 30 days of the month. So I know who am I, and I also know that I like to procrastinate, and I also love this energy rush of a deal, of a business. I like to fix things. I like that puzzle. I like that thing that put me in a high energy is when my agents call me and says, how do I do this? Now I'm 100% there. Why? Because I start thinking on all the possible options to solve that problem. That's the way that I am. But I cannot be calling anyone Monday, Wednesday, even Friday. I have another thing that happens to me. Many years ago, I get partnership with a title company that will start working pretty well. And when the things are going pretty well, they want a little bit more. This is the way that we put this partnership. We have this title company in my office, and my agent will be using that title company because we will be doing the closings in the office. They have a lot of classes. Then they were very knowledgeable. And the agent that they have over there, she was amazing. She's still doing that kind of job. But when they start looking the numbers at the year and they saw what it was happening, they wasn't the most cheapest one. And the customers are getting very wise now when they're doing the business. Now what they were asking was for another another quote for another company. So they were making a comparison from my company, my charges to another company's. I know the charges and I know the information, but I also know what my agents were telling me. And at the end, I cannot hold any business because they want to make money. At the end, I need to look for the best of the clients, not to myself or not even this company. When we sit on the table and we put all the numbers together, they try to make me sign a document that we will be working together as a partnership, but at the same time, they're going to offer me some kind of incentives, monetary, of course. But I had to guarantee pretty much that all the business are coming to work with them. And I says, no, I cannot do that. Because I cannot tell you that I can force a client to have the business with you. And also for that, you should be then matching the numbers for the other title companies. And I don't know if you guys can do that. So the conversation wasn't that good because they were expecting that I would say yes. So what happened? So I was cut it out from the business, right? So I had to move on. But I know that I cannot get committed with things that I cannot provide the answer, that I cannot put that business to run professionally and ethically very well for all of us. So I need to step out. But if I don't know who am I and my capabilities, I wasn't able to say no in those two. Business are business, money's are money. Who cares? I care. That's the way I am. So because I know that about me, that's how I can make decisions this way. And when I was thinking on how can I provide more information that people and the CEOs out there and the team managers out there can understand exactly what's going on, is we need to know us and we need to know our team. I have been noticed, and I have been making the video. We were talking about the Rachel Green, right? So she's super amazing. At the beginning, she's very not even near of the end of Rachel Green when she was at the Bloomingdale's and Ralph Lauren. But we know if we're looking for the friends characters, we can see Ross. Ross is this amazing PhD, and knowledgeable, well spoken, well dressed, well looking, the best representation of the company. But the companies are not always that. They're lacking of this kind of empathy, rapport, familiarity within the business. And we need to remember something. We always want this Ross because we know that Ross with the knowledge will close the deal. But at the end, I don't need necessarily to close the deal. I need a Rachel that nourish. that deal, nourish that client. And then all of a sudden, I was putting this a little bit more excited. I start listening to a book and they says, oh, Harry Potter. And I was like, what? So Hagrid nourish Harry Potter, his friends. He is the one that take this kid from the house of their his parent, his uncle and aunt, and remove him and save him and put him in the correct track. It was about time. But he's the one taking care of him in everything that he's doing. So that's Richard Green in the businesses. And that is what Harry does in Harry Potter. And then I start thinking, this is very interesting. How we can understand and identify this kind of personality traits that when I'm in an interview with someone, I can maximize them. I don't always need a Ross. But then I don't know if my business allow me to Ross close the deal and then my customer service is a Richard Green because my Richard Green can go. You know her. She is beautiful. She knows how to talk. She knows how to relate it. She's very social. So this Richard Green could be in a lunch with this client and Ross and maybe make that relationship more like it. Because what he lacks, that is Ross. He's very strong. He's very mature. He's going to the deal. She's going to bring that rapport, that why we are the best, because she has an amazing product knowledge. So then I was thinking, okay, so how do I put this together? And then what happened? The Gryffindor, the house of Harry Potter, does that. Hermione is a very knowledgeable. She knows everything. And because she knows everything, she helps whom? Harry Potter to grow. I was watching the other day one of the movies, and he is in the rescuing the people when they were in the lake, and the sirens were down. And she says, Harry, just use your wand. And I don't know, it was that part, or it was in when he was the dragon with the golden egg. The thing is that she says, just use your wand. She always said the clue of what he has to do. And she always was like the cheerleader. But they were complement each other. And in Ross and Rachel, it will happen the same way. So how can I maximize my team knowing their traits of their personalities to maximize this? But I noticed something, that there are other of my amazing agents that I have been seeing them working on the midnight panic. And that's why I bring this class to you today. The midnight panic is this person that at midnight, just remember that on the 30th of the month, they need to pay the rent. There's not enough money in the bank account. So these people are always suffering, disaligned, in stress, and using an enormous amount of energy that they don't need it. They need to save it. They are in panic attack for everything. So what happened? Gryffindor house, they working in when they don't know what is going to be happening, they're freaking out. You haven't noticed that in Harry Potter? They start freaking out because they don't know what to do. But in the panic, They start solving the puzzles. They put in everything together, and they breathe at the end because they were able to survive. That kind of salesperson, you need to be very careful with them because they don't know that they're doing this. But this is the person that instead to say them, to tell them, hey, the close is on the 30th of the month, you need to start telling them that they need to shut down or shutting down the goal for the half of the month and then at the end of the month. Why? Because now we're going to put that period of time, we're going to split it. We're going to give them time to breathe and to prepare. Because at the same time, these people having those bills, if we're going out again with the Harry Potter, would be Voldemort, those bills are their things that make them to be panic. So those contracts, Voldemort, that they wasn't able to close yet, start getting in their brain. And when they are doing that, they will be working in a different energy. They can. And that happened. Have you noticed when your client, your agents, or your sales team person tell you, oh, they don't answer the phone, or they are MIA, missing in action? Why they are MIA? Because you were in a stress, because you killed the transaction, because you were too much energetic, passionate, negatively, that you wasn't able to control what they were thinking, the decision making. You wasn't connecting with that client. So those are the traits, those are the things that we need to look over. But the main thing is that when we are hiring our new people to work with us, we need to know them. Why? Because we need to know how they work. We are going to see their faces at the end of the month. We are going to see their frustrations, their talking. They're going to come to the office to tell you, I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't done anything. And it's the 15th of the month, and the month has 30 days. And the worst thing is that in sales, every day counts. You can close $10 million contract on the last date of the month, and it counts. But what happened in your burnout? You will not see it. And if they don't see it, who are the ones having that situation, having that loss? Is the company that we represent. As a CEO, we don't know exactly where we are hitting with this kind of personality traits. So that's why we need to know how to help them, support them, help them to relax, because every day counts. This is the person that we need to ask maybe in an interview, how are you working under pressure? They're going to say, oh, I'm perfect under pressure. Yeah, of course, because that's the way that you're always working, but we don't know how effective it will be. We need to know that, okay, so under pressure, you will be under pressure the 30 days of the month, that you're okay with that. Why? Because you need to perform in doing something every day of the month, because this is like a snowball. It's going to continue growing because you cannot stop. You're working in sales. It's based on production effectively. How they are going to connect with the client. They need to ask the correct questions. They're they're talking very well, Ross. They're the dragons in the Harry Potter. Dragon is very tough. He's the one that closed the deal. He's the one that go there, that boom, 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 boom. But they could be the deal breaker. Why? Because they don't have any empathy. They're going just to get the contract done. What happened with the customer service? And the thing is that you have to be careful about this as well, because this person that also have this amazing um, customer service personality, right? Like a Rachel, that's the person that she moved to another company can take your clients too. So how we put a balance of this? How much you as a CEO, you as a team, uh, uh, your as a team manager need to be in front of the client as well, at least one a month or two as a month. Why? Because at the end, it's your company. They will move. People are looking for efficient people, people with the numbers. Not everyone is going to be knowing to work with personality traits. Maybe not many people care about that. People care about numbers. They will going to get your team. They will going to get your people. And you're the one building them. And then you need to start all over again. But what happened when they move, but they say, oh my gosh, yes, I love to work with you. But the other part is that your management is amazing with us. Your management has a different connection with us, has a different service. They don't need to know everything because you can start a deal this way. Well, how can you strong that deal that you can continue working better, getting this ratio and this Hagrid nourish your clients, but you have a special key with them. But for that, you need to know your team. You need to know that this kind of agent that work in the midnight panic is the one that make you doesn't go through or going through, but maybe not so strong as you expected because their energy power that they have at the moment that they're doing the business is just to do the business because they are in the midnight panic. If we help them to strategize their calendar, their bills, their priorities, their job, they will be 1,000% more effective. I have um I have an agent that used to work in that. Always at the end of the month, there was something happening. Oh, I won't be able to pay my rent. And it was so funny because not even a month earlier or a month and a half, I paid like $18,000 in two deals. How is that you don't have money for your mortgage 2 months later? It's not that you pay 7,000 in your mortgage, right? But the way is that if and that's the most important thing. How do you know? How can you get the correct training and also the correct interview when they are pretty much their own boss, and how their habits can damage your business and their business because they're making a lot of money, but they don't know how to deal with their finances. They put an extra stress on the business that is your business that is not needed. If you have minimum $18,000 in one paycheck, right? Because that was your sales, your compensation, whatever it is, you can pay 4 months ahead. And you forget about the rent for 4 months. What are you doing? Now you're doing things more relaxed. You're ready for the challenge. Also, if we change the goal set instead of the 30th of the month, make this bi-weekly, that's another way to do it. Or weekly. Every week we need to see where we are in the goal plan. But the thing is that we need to know who we're working with. Is we are in the Gryffindor house and this person is running in the midnight panic. We need to bring that person to a training. We need to tell them how to work with their how we call it, oh my gosh, mindset, and bring them back. They need to disconnect for a little bit because we need them back. So that's the things that I would like to talk to you. This is the things that I'm getting very excited because we know exactly what we're doing and who we're dealing with, and we know ourselves. We know how to sit in a table like that, have a conversation, and maximize every transaction. If they need help because they are very stressful and they're going to be meeting with someone, partner it them with somebody else that they allow them to relax, but at the same time to close that deal. It's better to close the deal and have something than have nothing. So I hope you guys like this. We're going to be continuing working on this because I think that we need to know these details, because not all the time all the people that look very strong as Ross is our best decision to have in the team, because also this kind of agent or team member are the ones that are not going to let you to guide them, because they know everything and they know how to do things. And the thing is that when you're working in sales and you're your own business owner, you need to learn every single day. You need to be a sponge, because every single day something happens that you can use it, transform it, and maximize it. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you tomorrow again. So take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.